Hello and welcome to TigerTails Gaming. My name is Xavier Wolf. And in the corner we have TK Tiger.
Hello.
And this is streaming games that kick my ass. But this is a difference. This is a significant difference, to be fair. We are celebrating 20 years of PlayStation 2 in Europe for this month. And we've been playing PlayStation games over the past few weekends. PlayStation 2 games, and a while ago myself and TK made lists over what the best PlayStation 2 games were. This is a long time ago for the show, and we both agreed on Final Fantasy X being...
It was during episode 27 of Season 5, to be precise.
Like I said, a while ago.
It's in the description.
And we both said Final Fantasy X was the game that was our favourite game for PS2. We both played it, we both enjoyed it. TK actually eventually finished it. I have never finished it.
Really?
No.
Spoilers.
I finished 7, I finished 8, I need to actually try and finish 9, but I'm feeling that may be a guide job as well. And then
It's up there.
Yeah, I know.
Somewhere.
10, I got to Sin, and I got to the Dark Aeons. I gave up.
I did a couple of the Dark... I did
fail
for Dark Aeon, but then there's like, nah, I'm getting my ass kicked.
I leveled up Veil for, so I had a struggle town. And then for 11 was online. 12, I really need to go back to 12.
I didn't like 12.
I know you didn't like 12. I need to go back to 12 because I like the aesthetic. I don't like the guide.
Anyway, this intro is far too long, so
I know.
I'm going to bring the game in.
Fade on in, because this is going to be a lot of Final Fantasy talk from myself and probably TK. Because what TK is about to show... Ignore the 222 hours. That is not realistic gameplay.
225 hours and 33 minutes.
Not realistic gameplay.
Yeah, so what we're about to do is play the end of Final Fantasy X. So if you haven't completed it and you don't want the ending spoiled, look away now.
What are you doing on YouTube? Now,
about the next hour and a half.
When we say games that kick my ass, and when we say we are going to complete this...
hey, but you'll be pleased to know...
TK's playing.
I can't play Blitzball.
Yay!
Yes, I'm playing this one.
TK is playing this one because I'll give you the story. So whilst we were at the house and at 10 had launched, both myself and TK had a copy. I was kind of like jumping to and fro, but then I picked up 7 on the PlayStation. I believe it was... I don't want to say it was on the PSP, but I believe I picked up 8 on the PSP.
Really?
It was either 8 on the PSP or 8 on the...
You a thing to collect.
1 or 2 of them. And I was completing 7 and then working on completing 8, while TK was still playing and not finishing 10.
Alright, so this section you've got to go around looking for 10 little bauble things that look a bit like this.
Ah.
They will each give you a thing.
So this is in Sin, or the run through Sin.
This is inside Sin.
So this is...
It moved.
Yeah, this is the end.
If I get caught by one of the spikes,
section.
I fight a monster.
Yeah. So the story up until this point, MacGuffin happened. People tried to utilise their own plots in order to stop you. Bad guys that generally were really fucking annoying became more fucking annoying. Occasionally you had to play Blitzball. People thought you were bad because reasons.
Oh, hello. Oh, bugger.
You picked up some random guy in his flying ship because it's a Final Fantasy game. Why the fuck wouldn't you pick up some random guy in a flying ship? You may or may not have attempted to collect the ultimate weapons because...
The celestial weapons.
Everyone loves dodging lightning bolts 250 times. Or collecting the butterflies in the ancient forest.
Oh, I got that one.
I tried that one. I also...
That was really chuffing hard.
Yeah, that was really hard. There is a way of doing it, but it's like...
I had to get someone else to do the chocobo racing bit for me.
Yeah, it's like beating fucking Sonic 1 in under 30 seconds. It's like, it's possible, you can do it, but you hate yourself afterwards.
Oh, no, Green Hill Zone's easy. It's like, I can do 29 with way.
Yeah. So yeah, so that all happens, but your entire objective is to lead this lass called Yuna to defeat Sin.
Oh, you bastard.
Which basically is this manifestation of everything fucked up in this world. there's a lot of convoluted plot, but effectively if you defeat Sin, there's peace. What they don't tell you is that the cost of defeating Sin is the death of the summoner, who's you've dragged along, and one of their colleagues, one of the bodyguards, becomes the new Sin after about 50 years.
10 years or something. It's not a huge amount of time.
It's basically, we're sending off our sacrifices to appease the evil of the universe. Now, there's a lot of other stuff, like this main character being from a dream world that is actually being dreamed by Sin, and other things. Because there's a religion involved, and there's crazy magic involved, and there are various other things. No Moogles. I don't think there were Moogles in this. Which was a shame, because I always liked the Moogles and their stupid little... Yeah, always enjoyed that. But this is at the point when finally your entire party goes, you know what? Let's go fucking kick Sin's ass, because we've dealt with all of the assholes who were, you know, getting in our way because marriage and bullshit and politics. Let's actually finish the adventure. So after probably about 100 hours of playing Blitzball, 150 hours of playing Blitzball...
Well, you need to play Blitzball to get like a celestial weapon.
Yeah, TK eventually eventually finished the end game, because the end area you can go around a lot to level up and grind up.
This bit has taken far too long.
Yeah. Now, the reason why we're mentioning the celestial weapons is, as TK goes into a fight, which is good because it's different. The reason why you want the celestial weapons is because of damage caps in this game. You can get to a maximum damage without the celestials of 9999, and that's on everything. Magic, monster abilities, because certain characters can see monsters.
Curse.
Yeah, fuck curse. If you get the celestial weapon, you break that cap, and you can then do more damage than 9999, which for certain enemies in this end section is really necessary. The boss battles, it's a Final Fantasy game, some of the boss battles it's irrelevant what health they have anyway.
Oh, that's crap. Titus, you suck.
I mean, this is a Final Fantasy game where there is a really hard boss fight, which is really fun to fight. It's the zombie dragon where you're swimming. If you fight it, it's fun. If, however, you're a bit of a pussy, you can just throw max life or X potion at it, and you win. Oh, the big balls are coming out. So witness the power of Kamari, who didn't one-shot it.
No, these things are quite resistant to what I've got at the moment.
The auto remedy, nice.
Yeah, I can take care of that. And we get another turn, hurrah!
But this is his command. There we go, there's the overkill mechanic as well. But that's for experience.
Go on, let's just have a quick thing.
Oh, you don't worry about the dark Aeons.
No, I think we're still about the dark Aeons. All my Aeons are quite low level anyway, because I prefer to actually let the characters hit things.
Well, when I picked the game up, I liked collecting and levelling up the Aeons, because I enjoyed the summon mechanics in the Final Fantasy games, because all of the games had a summon mechanic, Final Fantasy VII being the over-the-top one because you had Knights of the Realm, the various bummets, my god, the many bummets. But this one restricted the summons to one character.
Which is quite annoying.
Well, it's annoying, but the annoying thing was they didn't tell you that if you leveled up your summons, when you got to a certain point, you would be facing dark mirror reflections of your summon. So at the level that you'd got them to. And back in the day, I did have Yuna as a major party member because she was like the healer. Because I didn't fucking try and cheese the sphere grid. So I went into some of those Dark Aeon fights.
Oh, that's not
fair.
fair.
Cheat. Dark Aeon fights.
Right, if this is a mold, I'm running away.
No, it's a fucking Dune worm. What the hell?
Well, that's not too bad.
But at least it means you do get a chance to see some of the crazy shit. TK's. Oh yeah, his party. Oh yeah. odd selection for the party. Yuna, Kamari, and well, Kamari's the party, but everyone else is like there. Kamari one shots.
That's going to be a thing.
Yeah.
Sorry, everyone. No XP for you. Kamari's got it all.
Yeah. That was another frustrating thing I found with 10 to other ones, because 7 and 8.
Well, no, it
leveling
was...
mechanic wasn't bad. You could level everyone else up so long as they were in the party, because you only had the 3 party members. And you could mix them and move them around. And if one person was slightly under-leveled, you could, because of how the game was structured, you could level them up. And then when the open world hit... Oh, we ran straight into it. When the open world hit, you maxed out your magic and ceased to care.
Yeah, okay, running away.
There's Marlborough.
Oh, we don't even get a chance. Right, it's game over.
Well, auto remedy from Kamari.
Doesn't...
Oh, no.
No, it doesn't affect that, because it's... Oh, Yuna's got it.
Fusion.
Fuck yes. She survived. We have a chance. She's
Silenced. You don't have a chance. Item. No, not Phoenix down, not yet.
No.
You need to clear status effects from Kamari, who will one-shot your party.
Soul Tidus. Yeah. And where is Remedy?
Yeah. Prizes from Blitzball tournaments. You don't really care about the prizes, and then suddenly you care about the prizes. Oh, good old your Tidus.
Hey. Way to go, little confused boy.
I'm not sure if he got confused. I know he's got Rage or Berserk, Poison and Silence.
First thing, auto left Kamari, because he's the hasted character.
Yeah.
Right.
Auto Life was an interesting addition in 10 for me.
Just hit it, sod it.
Jesus. Auto Life was an interesting addition in 10 because
Yeah.
previously you had to have a character up. This eliminated the accidental team wipe, which was nice. It really was nice. I wasn't a fan of move TK. I wasn't a fan of having my team wiped because the bad guys managed to get...
Confusion magic.
Well, not confusion. It was just they were able to get a good round of damage. So I tried to heal.
Oh, I
and
see.
then they'd get in that one shot to take out the guy
Right,
who...
one more stone left to find, and then get a stupid selection.
Yeah.
That I have absolutely no love for.
Well, this was one of the biggest things with 10. There were a lot of interesting sections where you had not quite traditional Final Fantasy mechanics being involved. I mean, 7 did have the Chocobo racing. That was fun, but you didn't have to engage unless you wanted
While I'm here, actually.
the Knights of the Round, because you could breed and do the Chocobo racing.
Right, we're going up here.
8 had the card game that I ignored with a passion because you didn't need to do it, and if you stored all the magic you had no reason to do anything else. 9, I still need to complete 9. I know it also has a card game, but I don't think it's necessary to play either.
Well, it's another version of Triple Triad,
Yeah.
if I remember rightly.
But the big thing with 9 is that areas kind of don't level with you, and you can move into areas that are just overpowered. Which is great if you know how to then level your characters. I've seen some ridiculous how to overpower your characters before certain levels. I will never do it because it's fucking long prep, but it's interesting. When 10 hit, we then had the sequel, which was 10-2.
Which I also have.
Which is the dress sphere
Yep.
system, which I kind of semi-enjoyed, but was really restrictive in certain sections of the game. And I've recently learned that the monster capture bit that I ignored because I hated it, that apparently is really significantly important if you want to power level your characters.
No.
I ignored it because I hated it, but apparently those tournaments can give you some ridiculous bullshit and power level your party. But yeah, after 10, 11 was online, 12, I need to go back and complete. 13 had the 3 games, because you had 13, 13-2. Was that Lightning's Revenge?
13-2, yes, I think that was... Well, Lightning Return, sorry. Yeah, see, Kamari has not yet gone all the way around the sphere grid. There are huge chunks of the sphere grid where he has not gone round.
200 hours. Most of it, admittedly, playing Blitzball, but that's...
There was a lot of Blitzball, I have to say.
Indicative. But there was a third game of the Crystal Chronicles series. I can't remember the third one. But 13, I'm really unique out of most of the people who've played 13 that I know. I didn't mind the linear corridor that was the first 20 hours of the game, because that was just the tutorial. That told you how to play the game. Once you then hit Cocoon and started facing off against the big monsters, you realised why there was a 20-hour tutorial.
Come here.
It's just a shame that once you hit Cocoon, it wasn't like the open world of Final Fantasy VII that then led you into other cities and other things. It was a case of here, playing Cocoon until you feel you're powerful enough to go back and kick the bad guy's ass. The bad guys kind of being you.
That section took entirely longer than it needed to.
13 was a weird one, and again, it's another one I need to go back to. 14 was online. 15 is the car trip that I also need to finish.
I need to start.
And is more Kingdom Hearts mechanics than traditional. I enjoyed the fighting, but it's a little bit of a grind, and I have a little bit of gripes with how the summon system
I enjoyed
works.
the demo of Final Fantasy 15.
Yeah. It's very Kingdom Hearts. I just don't like the way they activate the summons. Because it's like, fight, 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 fight. Oh, by the way, we've activated a summon for you.
Actually, yeah, everyone's ready. Let's go trigger the cutscene.
Okay, so story. This is...
Tidus
Jet.
meets his daddy.
This is Daddy Issue the Adventure.
Yes.
This is long loading cutscene. There we go.
There's Ron.
Badass McBadass.
Whiny McWhiny.
Not Cloud.
No, Cloud was just Demo.
Or Strife. Not Cloud. Cloud, Strife, Squall. That's the
Yeah,
other
Squall.
one.
You're late, Auron. I know.
Technically, they all are.
By 200 hours.
Oh, I was thinking most of them are already dead.
Hey,
Hey, son. I fucked off and left you for dead. Sorry, Dream.
you got tall, but you're all bones.
Rude.
You eating right, boy?
See, he's a concerned parent.
Mm-mm.
You've really grown.
Context.
Yeah, but you're still bigger.
Context. At least it's not as bad as my bloody Final Fantasy VIII run.
I am.
Oh, yes.
You know.
While completing Final Fantasy VIII,
That's not funny.
I named Squall Dick.
You did. That had hilarious and unintended consequences.
Many. I mean, calling the dog Anal is the traditional one, but
I mean,
Dick,
You know.
oh god.
So this is supposed to be the big emotional cutscene before the final boss.
Well, before the final boss.
No, this is technically classed as the final boss,
Yeah.
apparently.
Technically.
Because everything you play after this, you technically can't die.
Yeah.
But the fight, the kind of the boss fight after this one. Well, this is supposed to be a really, really hard boss fight. It's supposed to be kind of like 2 phases long and takes about 20 minutes to phase.
Yeah. I mean, the second time I got to the end boss in 7, second time I got to the end boss in 8, it wasn't as long as I
can't hear
thought.
the hymn so well anymore.
First time I tried it, way back in the day, it was terrible.
Pretty soon I'm gonna be Sin.
Because it was like
Completely.
facing the abomination that is Monster Sephiroth
I'm
before
glad
the
you're
crappy
here now.
final last quick action time event in 7. Spoilers.
One thing though.
Somebody at the door.
There's somebody
When
at
it
the door.
starts,
Oh, it's
There's
Hedgie.
some-
won't
Yeah, it's
be
Hedgie's dinner.
myself
Yeah.
anymore.
He couldn't be bothered to cook.
And
I won't be able to hold myself back.
it was one of those things. The fight, first time I played it was really hard because you had to juggle two parties.
sorry.
The second time,
That's
all I needed
enough.
was the characters I power leveled to ridiculousness.
Let's finish this.
It was
Okay?
like swapped once, bounced it back, end of fight.
right.
There we go.
There's a hedgie at the door.
Yes.
Hello. What bringeth you to the... letting all the cold air in? Oh.
Okay.
Well then,
That's fine.
let's go.
Oh, we have the fight coming up.
There's a bit of more cutscene first.
Oh, okay.
He's got to actually transition into fight mode.
Transform into...
Mega... oh, hang on. Transform into... Mega Sin.
Not quite, because Sin's this ginormous whale
Yeah, true.
which you do fight. And you have the Sin scales, which are annoying, and other things that Sin
Well, this is him
dumps
becoming Sin
everywhere.
completely. It's
Yeah.
like, previous what you saw was kind of Sin light.
Well, like the vessel. And this
Yeah.
is yeah, him finally becoming the boss to defeat. Because bullshit religious thing to do with the Aeons and...
The hymn and the faith.
yeah... heavy religious themes.
That basically teaches you religion is balls.
Well, the daft thing is like 12 kind of still had that. 9
Look at the pretty cutscene.
kind of has that. Oh yeah, so this is Xanakin, which is the dream within Sin. Really cool fight when you first start Final Fantasy X, is doing the fight after the Blitzball cutscene. I really enjoyed that with the Sin scales and fighting alongside Auron, because you felt like it was a... I mean, this is before the Kingdom Hearts Battle of 1000, when you really found out about what massive multi-creature fights were. Big checked. Those people who've played God of War or Darksiders will go, wow, flashbacks, but unfortunately this is turn-based, so...
I promise this will be quick.
yeah,
With all you got, Dad.
context.
And then the battle starts.
Although the battle music for this isn't that bad. I mean, it's not Man with a Machine Gun, which is one of my favourites.
Ooh, Yuna hitting for 97,000 there.
Yeah, that's not a Lulu. I'm teched for transition phase. I'm teched for melee combat. That was always hilarious. So we miss all of phase 1's attacks. Instead, phase 2, he decides to go, fuck it.
And have a great big fuck off sword.
I am Dante, I'll pull a sword out my chest. I missed where he was in the... Oh, he's next, so... He might get a turn. No. Yes. Standard attack. Oh, wow!
Yeah.
Your RNG is good today.
Oh, there we go.
Yeah, so he's considered the final Aeon. Because all of your Aeons are tied into Sin, all of the things
He didn't get this
are
many
tied
times when I practiced this on Saturday.
all of your, and he's healing himself, which is kind of...
Yeah, for a whole 1,500!
Yeah, it's kind of indicative that the AI is having to struggle. Well, that did. Another heal. Wow, double heal. Yeah, definitely struggling.
Oh, I've got the overdrive trigger command.
Talk.
Yeah.
I won't lose.
Yeah, it does.
Nothing.
So much.
Well, Kamari has his 2 turns with overkill.
Didn't need it.
No.
Oh, I know why. It's because I did delay buster last time. So I knocked him back a couple of turns.
So in terms of the mechanics for 10, as opposed to 7...
So
which
yeah, that was the
action
final
time-
boss apparently.
Yeah, as opposed to 7, which was action time bar, 8, which was action time bar continuous,
Action
unless
time
you
battle,
selected
yeah.
action time battle. 9, which was turn-based. 10 is order-based, and you can shuffle the order, which was a mechanic I loved because I played Grandia, and that was something you could do a lot, manipulating the enemies' turn sequence was fantastic for Grandia. Another game I need to go back and play. There we go. Delay shot was used a lot when I got it on Whacker. Massively used that on
Delay
Whacker.
Buster. Delay Buster's good.
Dad, I killed you!
He was deaded.
Even though technically we're both dreams and not actually alive!
Quite how I'm able to actually touch things we haven't discussed.
And having killed you because you're the source of the dream of the city I come from, I'm not going to talk about that. They don't.
Ever.
They don't address this, even in 10-2, where apparently
Cry. See?
they're looking for him. Plot.
And then we go to FMV mode.
I hate you, Dad.
Because we need to animate tears, and
Yeah,
we can't do that with the models.
Which for 10 was quite good, because getting 10, that was the big shift for PlayStation 2. And I had no memory card for this when I first got it.
Right. We've got a job to do.
I've mentioned this many times, but I had no memory card, so I played up until the Blitzball tournament. I would do a solid 14-hour run
Good. That's right.
to see how far I could get
are
past
my
the first
son,
fucking
after
Blitzball
all.
tournament before I could had to restart the goddamn game.
You know, for the first time, I'm glad.
So fucking glad they finally put a hard drive in the PS3.
Father.
Sir Jack, I should...
No! Yuna! There's no time!
Yevon is floating round.
You stay away!
Yuna, you know
Yes.
what to do.
So this is
The Aeons!
their job is to
We Aeons.
perform the summoning,
Call them!
sending.
Call us.
Oh yeah, the faith. Because what she would send souls, and as part of the thing she would do the final sending for Sin, which is where she would then disappear, and one of the companions would then become Sin to get 10 years of, you know, peacetime. But as part of the story leading up to this, they agreed not to do the final sending? I can't remember now.
Been a while.
Yeah. But when Tidus found out, because Tidus being the outsider with the outside view, didn't know, and so kind of convinced him, but not everyone knew all of the details. Even Yuna didn't know all of the details,
Here it
because
comes.
you learn about this bullshit, which is Yevon, who is the quote-unquote god of the universe.
So what I normally do for this is because what happens now is that all your Aeons get possessed by Yevon one by one, and you have to fight them.
There we go. You now fight on the Blade
Of Sin.
of Sin. Not too bad a cool looking sword.
Wakey wakey, eggs and bakey, everyone.
Notice it's typically the guys that end up flat on their faces. Everyone else is like, no, I wasn't really knocked over.
Yuna!
Now we're going to pick our Aeon.
To start with, or...
I normally start with the hardest one and go backwards.
Well, if you've not leveled them, it's not that bad.
Yeah.
This is why I can never finish 10. I like the summons. Bahamut being one of my favourites, which was why I was so sad to see them disappear. Especially in 15. It's like, I like the big fuck-off dragon. I enjoyed the variations in 7. I was a little bit disappointed that they turned it into man with crossed arms. Or dragon with crossed arms, kind of, for 10. But I still enjoyed him. Because he had a whole don't give a fuck. I mean, it was fun. The system for 13 was very different. I will say I missed some of the characters, but I did enjoy how they did the interactions with each character possessed by Yu Yevon.
You'll get to see this a lot.
Yeah.
Each one of those ends in that list we saw a minute ago gets to be possessed by Yu Yevon.
And now they are evil, or in
Oh,
this case,
no.
just horrendously palette swapped.
Oh, Oren's going first, isn't he? Okay, fine, fair enough.
Well, Oren Kamari tied us, which, to be fair, isn't too bad.
Notice we all get auto life by default now.
There are some items in this game that break everything, because there is a ribbon that you can get, which means you can't be status affected, which breaks everything. There are items that you can...
He's going to be immune.
Yeah, there are items that you can have which give you auto life and auto haste from the equipment,
I wonder.
which
I'd
breaks
try against
everything.
Ultima.
Ultimate. Really impressive in 7. I love that magic in 7 and in 8. Didn't use it much.
Not too good.
Yeah. But you did stop the pagodas.
For whatever the hell that does.
Well, that's the power-up mechanic for the enemy, isn't it? It's, we will give you the health boosts.
Oh no, Titus is knocked down, whatever will we do?
Although you notice it is 9999
Yes.
damage. So the only person who technically could have survived that is Auron, because apparently he is stacked.
Yeah, I guess that. Sod it, let's just summon Anima and I've done with it. It gets these girls out of the way quicker. Anima's cutscene takes a while,
Yeah.
but she hits all opponents, which is nice.
I did miss the traditional Aeons from 7. Because
Yeah, I liked them in 8.
you get attached to Ifrit, you get attached to
Shiva.
Shiva and
Bahamut.
the Izitiel, the lightning pony, although he was a dude in 7. I was never a huge fan of Anima when I got it.
Is it not Anima then? Don't cry, stop the suffering.
Go say goodbye. I mean, Yojimbo was fun to when you picked up. Basically, he would hit depending on how much you would pay him.
Rude.
In the yellow already, damn. Shell?
Reflect.
Ooh. So don't use...
Oh, she's only got full life.
Yeah, you haven't leveled the summons that much. But at least we'll see some of the interesting mechanics from 10. But no, I was never a fan of Anima. Jesus. Kiriga.
Yeah, have fun trying to cast that on your teammate. Oh god, who you going to
that's
cast
a
that on? Oh, yourself. That's fine.
Waste of a turret. Well, hold on, it's different for this game, isn't it? As much as I say it's a waste of a turn, haste actually does a lot more in this than it does in 7 and 8 and 9.
Yeah, we've got plenty more where they came from, my darlings, don't worry.
We've also got
Oh, how many more
Lauren
turns are they
here.
getting now?
Well, their speed is quite high, seeing as you've not hasted any of your party. There we go. Auron tanking like a fucking brick house. And a counterattack that missed, unfortunately.
Yes, it did, because Orin is useless in that regard.
Which is weird, because I enjoyed the counterattack builds in 10. Primarily because sometimes you would throw out an attack, and it's like, okay, I will do this attack, and everyone else gets a
What are you
turn.
doing? Everyone's got crit hit. Oh, that
Wow,
did fuck all.
you do not have the Celestial for on. Oh, there goes Yuna's auto life.
No one cares.
I also missed the little
Hey, Yuna's
feather.
go.
The little feather and the... I like that little silly
Oh.
thing.
She missed.
Yeah, you're going to need to pull something out of the bag. There we go.
I'll just do a standard attack.
Yeah. Because Kamari has his Celestial weapon, because he's breaking the 9999
Yep.
cap, and he's overpowered. Bye-bye, Aeon, that I also didn't use that much when I played.
Yeah, so that one is the one that gives me the most grief in this run.
Well, 3 characters as part of the sun.
Yeah.
I'm not surprised. Oh, you do have your Jimbo.
Yes, of course I have you, Jimbo.
Depending on your playstyle, he may be ridiculously easy to beat. Although you've got 2 characters in the yellow.
I'm not too overly worried. Auto life is a thing.
Yeah, auto life on Auron, I don't think Yuna had.
No, you get this permanently now. It's a permanent
okay.
state for the rest of the game. Because you've defeated the final proper boss, which was Sin or Jekt. And
Doesn't
so
get his doggy! Boo. Wow, is it? That is...
why is Auron going first all the time?
He's got higher speed, I'd imagine.
Yeah, but Kamari should be auto hasted.
Yeah, I can see he's auto-hasted from this animation. Doesn't necessarily... Oh, Jesus. That is some dodge chance.
Yeah, he's awful. Alright, that's Yuna. Go on, Yuna. Hit him. He didn't see it coming.
Wow!
Oh, it's a little girl. Pow!
Yeah.
Oh!
That's the big thing with the Sphere Grid. You can spec characters into being
Out of type.
out of type. 7 and the remake don't really allow you to expand a huge amount. The remake does a job of it, but Cloud is still a fighting character. I have now forgotten everyone else in the fucking 7.
Well, you had Red 13, Cloud.
13 was very... 13 I could have as being a bit more amorphous.
And there was...
Yuffie, who you don't get in the remake. Vincent, who you don't
spoilers,
get in the
Jesus
remake.
Christ.
Yeah, because you're stuck in Midgar. You don't get them
Oh, yeah,
until after
outside
you get
Midgar,
out Midgar.
Aerith.
Aerith, who dies.
And Booby Chick,
Yeah.
whose name I can't remember. Why can't I remember her name? Cloudsbird.
Yeah, I should, because I watched the Final Fantasy VII Abridged, and I need to rewatch that again because it's hilarious. But I
You're annoying me by
need
going
to do it.
first all the time. Go away.
That's fine. You could always bring out Riku, the thief, who steals shit and can use it for attacks that are worse than her fucking standard auto attack.
Yeah, and the standard auto attack is pretty bad.
Oh! So annoyed me. It's like, here's the thief character. What do you do? Nothing! What?
Go on, Yuna.
It's like, literally, the only useful thing she was good for was machine enemies, because if she stole from them, that would insta-kill them.
Oh, Wacker's just done a 9999999.
Yay! Which is the max? Which
Yep.
is the max cap max.
Yeah, all the 9s.
Yeah.
The full 9.
Thankfully, Anima did not get to pull off their attacks, which is rather useful. Not my favourite Aeon to deal with. There he is.
Here's your boy.
I am so annoyed that he disappeared after this. I liked Bahamut. Especially it was like Neo Bahamut, Cyber Uber Neo Bahamut. It was like really fun in 7 having 3 different varieties. Which made an appearance in in Advent Children.
Oh, really?
Yes,
yes, it did.
Yeah. I think Crisis Core you could. No, it was a different system for Crisis Core. You couldn't get the summon with Crisis Core. Strangely enough, a Final Fantasy game I completed 3 times over.
I've only completed it once. Well, I say beaten the game once.
Normal, hard, and then I went back to normal again because you can effectively do New Game Plus in that game.
Yeah, I started New Game Plus.
But I couldn't get their versions of summons, which really annoyed me. Oh! Whoa!
He's dodgy, boy.
You do not have the accuracy. You also do not have the life, although auto life will keep you going.
Yeah. Who's weak? Veilfor's weak. Will Veilfor 9999.
Will Veilfor get its ass kicked? I was not a fan of Veilfor, but I kept summoning it because it was the first summon.
Yep.
And of course, early game, the summons are actually really quite powerful.
Early game.
Later on, they're a bit pansy, but early game, they're really useful. It's just weird how, as you collect the summons in here, the Aeons, they don't scale well from the collection. There we go, one-shotted.
And now the Aeon's turn has been wasted.
That was one of the other things that you constantly use the Aeon.
Meat shields! Oh, they had whacker. I got whacked.
Underrated character in the game, Whacker.
Yeah.
Like, oh yeah, he plays Blitzball. He throws a ball at people. Yeah, he also has a huge array of stuff that actually deals with most of the fucking enemies. Like him and Lulu. I really enjoyed both him and Lulu in my parties. Outside of fucking Boron.
Here's your gal Shiva. In her spindly shiny glory.
And scantily clad. Because Final Fantasy.
Because Japan.
Well, to be fair, it's not really a necessary thing for Japan.
Okay, let's
Blacked out. Ah, buffing the team.
yeah. And it doesn't have Heavenly Strike. Oh, you're not even gonna. Oh no, Diamond Dust Strike.
Ooh, yeah. Not that it's too much relevance, because even the basic moves at this point are just foul. Which is one of the other differences I noticed with 10 compared to 7 and 8. Getting to the final bosses in 7 and 8, your defense, your defensive items and your defensive magics are useful. I mean, the bosses are hard, but they don't one-shot you if you've set up right, or if you're leveled high. In this, as you've seen, Kamari is the most overpowered character on TK's squad.
But I don't have break HP limit.
But they're still hitting for 9999. That's the thing. It's not a, oh yeah, we're gonna have an issue with your defense. Every time they're hitting you for 9999, it's just ignoring anything you have. Oh, here we go. The lightning horse.
Spiky boy.
No longer an old man, I am now Pony.
And now you're possessed by you, Yevon. Just like everybody else.
I used this one way too many times as well, early game. Jesus.
Boney, 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 boney.
I mean, to be fair, the characters that TK has built at this point are not stupidly OP.
No, they're not.
They're not stupidly OP. They are overpowered, but they're not...
Kamari's a little bit OP, but
yeah,
he's earned it from journeying the most around the sphere grid.
Yeah, but he's not specifically a build that is OP.
No, Kamari is my all-rounder.
Yeah.
So I've got him doing black magic, white magic, attack, and he's not so hot on defense, but...
Which is the thing, if you focus on... Because like a lot of RPGs, if you focus on a specific build... and something that I've been trying to experiment with Final Fantasy VII is specific builds.
So this is my boy.
The classic. You can break the game with certain builds, although the limits and having to get stuff to limit break your max hit points, max damage, is kind of a frustration compared to original 7, 8 and 9. Jesus. Meanwhile, Yuna goes, fuck you.
In the face. With a staff.
Yeah.
I loved you! What did you do? You got possessed by you, Yevon! Hiya!
Yeah, it's not much you can do about that because plot.
Yeah.
I mean, fundamentally, this is the god of the Aeons and the faith and the rest of the planet.
Well, there's only 2 fights left now.
That's constantly creating this eternal cycle of sin having to be defeated, sent on by the summoner, and then reborn from the soul of one of the companions. It's like, this is not a benevolent god in any way, shape or form. Because there's one faction who are tech-based, trying
the Albed.
Yeah, the Albed trying to bring back all of this old tech, who everyone despises. You have the regular humans that are just that follow the faith and the church to a degree. You have Kamari's people.
The Ronsos.
Yeah. You then also have the guys that you don't actually get a character for. Who was it? The bad guys race. And also the main bad team that you end up playing against in Blitzball. They kind of seem to be very manipulative of the church in the game to begin with. Good oof. So that's all the Aeons that TK has collected. That you collect during the story as well. These aren't outside of the story.
I think I saw the Aeons in the game that you get.
Not entirely sure, it's been a while. I always thought Yojimbo you could miss from how you end up finding him, because I know there's certain ones you find in the temples.
Yeah, when you do the Closet of Trials. See, but what's up now is the final fight coming up, which is Yevon itself, which apparently is another 2-stage fight.
Yeah, this is the arsehole who's caused all the problems. Supposedly. However, I had more issues with the plebeians beforehand causing me problems, so it's like, you Yevon? Who gives a fuck?
You Yevon down in Devon, I'm gonna be sending you to heaven.
Although in TK's case, it was a case of endgame, who gives a fuck? Blitzball.
Everyone? This is the last time we fight together.
They will die after this.
Okay?
Huh?
What I'm trying to say is... after we beat you, Yevon, I'll... disappear.
Finally, we address it.
What are you talking about?
I'm interested to see what the HD remake of this one is like, based on these graphics.
Well,
there-
it's this, but prettier.
Yeah. Although there's nothing that you can do to actually improve the laughing scene.
The laughing scene is supposed
The
to
laughing
sound
scene.
terrible. It's the whole point. I was talking to Hedge about this earlier. Because Hedge gets it. They were feeling miserable. They did the fake
Saying
laughing
goodbye.
to cheer each other up.
Not now.
The graphics on that was awful though. I mean, at
know
least
it's
it's not as
selfish.
bad as, you know, if you need me, just whistle.
But this is my story.
This is my story.
Yeah, you say that. You're not even in the fight, my boy.
So tiny spider thing is you, Yevon.
Yeah.
So I'm assuming... Oh, nice graphic. I didn't use Nova much.
That's because it was piss weak and did nothing.
But I found that about a lot of the monster abilities, which is why I never liked characters that stole monster abilities.
Until
like-
now, where it
yeah.
actually one hit kills the final.
Most of the bloody... Well, I suppose it's the same as... What was it? The final... One of the final bosses in Final Fantasy was a zombie, so you could just...
Yeah,
stick
full
him.
life him.
Yeah.
Yeah, Nova had done 300 damage for all of the game. Until now, when it suddenly went, all of the 9s, overkill. You know that second phase I'm supposed to have? Yeah, I'm not going to have that. We'll just skip that.
Although at least it's nice that it doesn't transform. It's just, yeah, no, this happens. So we now have defeated God. In an hour. Admittedly, this is 200 hours of game, not necessarily
225.
not necessarily the actual game. A lot of it is Blitzball, but 200
Well, you had
hours.
to do a certain amount of Blitzball in order to get Wacker's Celestial Weapon, so...
Yeah, I preferred 8's method of getting the ultimate weapons, which was find the items, craft them, off you go. So this is Wacker's hometown,
Yep, this is Perseid.
with the fucking worst Blitzball team in the world.
No, the greatest Blitzball team in the world.
Not when you start.
Or at least they're the greatest Blitzball team on my save file, anyway.
God, so many issues with these guys. Eventually, they were quite... Datto is in this as well.
Yes, Datto is one of the Perseid Aurochs.
Also, the name used by a Destiny YouTuber and
Really?
streamer. Yeah.
Oh, I wonder if he got it from this.
Yeah, I think he said he got it from this.
Datto's actually my second highest goal scorer.
It's weird because he did like kick off on my playthroughs, but I think that's purely because of position. Is that annoying fucktard? No, we killed him.
There's one of the Guado.
There's a chocobo. Oh yeah, the evil people, only they're not actually evil, they were just misguided. And characters from their Blitzball team. Instantly recognisable. And the mercenary freelancers. And then we move over to Yuna's dad? Yuna's granddad? Oh yeah, the temple.
You have all the temples.
Oh, I love this music as well. You hear it a lot,
You do.
because those fucking puzzles...
You spend a lot of time in all the hymns of the faith.
Oh god. I can't discredit 10 for its music. It did have a lot of nice ones. I still really enjoy Man with a Machine Gun.
From 8.
And I'll always be a fan of One Winged Angel.
Oh, that's overdone.
I know, but I will always be a fan of it. And then... the Tapestry of Sin gets fucked over. Well, Yevon, I should say. It's all one in the same, really. Or are these the Aeons? I can't remember. Oh no, these are the Aeons, because that's Anima.
They are all dead.
Which is weird, because in 10.2 I thought you had a dress sphere for summons? I can't remember. Never got that far. Ifrit, I believe. Or Bahamut.
Something with a wing.
Yeah.
Just a wing. It's Sephiroth.
No crossover in this. And there's the Faith. Fuck you!
He has issues with the faith.
In this game, yes. You were literally just led by the nose through everything by those bloody things, because for all they cared, they just wanted to have the people of the world constantly go through this cycle. Whilst they were like living it up in the dream of Xanakin, it was like, cheers. There we go, Xanakin. And the final sending. Which is actually a very beautiful piece of FMV for when she does it at the end of the fight defending Wakka's village.
Yeah.
Was it Wakka's village? Yeah.
Yeah, in the Besaid section.
Yep, there goes Auron. Because he technically doesn't actually
Don't stop.
exist either, because he's
No.
from Xanakin.
It's all right.
Bit of first person.
Because he kind of really knew a lot of... because he was the other guy with Yuna's father and Jekt.
Yeah.
So he knew most of the plot.
He'd been there, done that, and broke his arm over it. And developed a drinking problem.
Technically.
It's been long enough.
Not really appropriate music for...
This is your world now.
loss of a character. And all of those spheres. My experience! My HP!
I spent so much time leveling you up, you ungrateful bastard!
That's what I said, kind of, when Aerith got shat on. The only healer of the party.
Well,
In
that is your own
7.
fault for not training up another healer.
Don't really get another healer. Well, Red kind of ended up being my other healer.
I always saw him as a kind of all-rounder combat character. Other than just a healer.
And FMB. There goes all the Aeons.
Sending the Aeons.
Above the scar that was the last fight where Sin, well, the last place where Sin was fought. on the deck of the funky airship. And there's Sin.
There goes Shiva. And Velfor.
Yeah, it makes me wonder if Anima and Yojimbo are temples. They gotta have been temples.
And there's Mount Gagazet. Kamari's home.
And the dream of Xanakind.
And all the millions of uncents.
Yuna, I have to go. I'm sorry I couldn't show you Xanarkand. Goodbye.
We're gonna see you again.
Nope.
Definitely no.
Yuna!
Yeah, definitely got to give credit to the music on this one.
Yep.
Having this tune being so effective, regardless of scene.
It's just so flexible. Just change the orchestration slightly, and it just fits any mood.
Yeah. Is it Naboo?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
I mean, Nobu's in the soundtrack, so... I don't know if he specifically composed to Xanarkand. Fairly sure he did, though.
Yeah, because we went to the Final Fantasy
Yep, Distant Worlds concert.
Distant Worlds, which...
So good.
Yeah, I really appreciated going to that one, and I have multiple times listened to the soundtrack off of that. Only you wasn't such a fucking annoying character. It's terrible because it's like, this is a really emotional scene, and I'm sat there going, I played Titanfall 2 and I actually teared up for the robot. Tidus? Yeah.
Yeah, he happened.
Also, Kingdom Hearts. Here we go. We've lost Yari again. Or whatever her name was. Kyrie. Fucking teared up for that. Oh god, the whistle bit. Yeah.
Yuna, it's time.
Titan Fuzzer. It is time.
Here's the reason why we had a second game. Not because 10 was popular, because Yuna had issues.
And we found this other random person along the way. And we teamed up with Riku, of all people.
Yeah. And she decided to become a singer. But isn't actually a singer, it's actually a dress sphere thing because reasons. And also...
Everyone
speech.
has lost something precious.
No subtitles.
Everyone here has lost homes, dreams, and friends. Everybody? Now, Sin
COVID.
is finally dead. Now, Spira is ours again.
I didn't really feel emotional
Working
with the
together.
death of Aerith that hugely.
Now we can make new homes for ourselves. And new dreams.
The
Although
live
I know
stream section was quite
The
a
journey
push.
will be hard.
8 was
We
a
have
bit
lots of
more,
time.
because I
Together,
felt you built more of
we
a
will
relationship with the
rebuild
characters
Spira.
in 8.
The road is ahead of us.
I felt I had more of a relationship with
let's
Quistis
start
than
out
I did
together.
with Renoa in 8. I actually gave a shit about Quistis.
Well, she was like a couple of years senior than everyone else,
Yeah.
in a really odd position.
Just one more thing.
Be excellent to each other.
The people and the friends that we have lost. No dreams that fade.
Oh god, yeah. There were some interesting moments and some really cool scenes.
Never forget them.
It has been a long time since I've tried to play and complete 10. But I don't want to start 10 again. I've got remake. I've got remake, and potentially I need to do 9. And 9's got some very interesting characters.
Right, so how quickly do we get kicked off of YouTube now? If we just maybe turn the volume down a little
Yes.
bit, talk
Yeah,
over
it is-
this
it
bit
is
a lot.
movie with Matsu in there, yeah.
Because you know what's going to happen
To be
otherwise.
fair, it's a live stream. They'll flag it, and it's a case of we
no,
feel
it'll
this
go-
is owned by Square Enix.
You've been playing XYZ. We're not happy that you've done this, so we've stopped the live stream.
So long as it is, Square Enix who goes against it, I
Yeah,
have
that's
no
fine.
issue if it's the right people. If it's some fucking we hold the rights to complain.
No,
it's
you
like,
don't.
No, fuck off.
Prove it.
Yeah. Oh. So that is the ending of 10-2.
There is a little tiny post-credit scene.
Well, we can lead to that. This is
Yep.
the game that myself and TK declared the best PS2 game way back when.
Back in season 5 of TigerTails
Yeah.
Radio.
Which is kind of weird.
It's quite a long time ago.
Oh, yeah. But there was a lot of PS2... There was a lot of good games in PS2 era that kind of spawned into what we're looking at now, because GTA 3, 4...
I think at the time we were celebrating the PS2's 10th birthday.
Yes, probably.
So, would have been about 10 years ago.
Yeah. But if you think of the games on the PS2, they had the GTA 3D ones, which were really quite big. You had Red Dead, which has spawned a series.
It's got to be more than that, sure. Hang on. I'm going to look up a thing.
Max Payne was on PS2, which
Yes.
I really enjoyed. We also have a lot of driving games, which we don't have anymore. Massive load, because I can see up there. The Just Dance stuff, massive amounts. We had the Guitar Hero era in PS2, because Guitar Hero and Rock Band were PS2 launches, if I recall.
Oh, there we go, yeah. It was PS2's 10th anniversary launching in Europe.
Nice. We did have Metal Gear back then. I believe that was Metal Gear 2. Metal Gear Solid 2. Which is the one where Raiden came in.
Yeah.
I completed
As
that
Konami
one.
went lols
Yeah.
for everyone.
I completed that one, and I then played through the entire game as Snake. So it was like, yeah, fuck you guys. So yeah, that existed on 2. God, it was a hard fought decision, but I think the main reason Final Fantasy X won it is because that was the reason I traded everything in for a PS2. Suffered the memory card shortage that existed back then, and just kept playing it over and over again. I mean, I hadn't completed any Final Fantasy by this point, because I had all all 8 Final Fantasies, all 9 Final Fantasies, I think, on PlayStation 1 at one point. And when the PS2 came out and Final Fantasy X came out, I traded everything in. God, 2001, bloody hell.
Yep, feel old yet.
Yeah. And I did. I played 14-hour sessions to try and get as far as I could. And then once I got a memory card, I spent so long journeying around this world. Having the music as a background to me chilling out. This was back when I lived with Claudia, so it was like she would watch me play at this point. And it was just having this immersion of the world. Not necessarily every single game, because I wasn't the Blitzball fan that TK was.
I love Blitzball.
Yeah. And it was, and I really had the resurgence when TK was trying to finish his mega tournament of Blitzball to get back into 7, 8 and complete them. And I had this as the background because typically either I would start and TK would start playing Blitzball in the background on 10 and then occasionally do some stuff in Sim. Or he would be doing that on the PS2 on the big telly. Mm-hmm. So I would then pull out the PSP to try and complete with like a laptop next to me. I believe it was 8. I had the laptop with the guide next to me to get all the way through. But I will say it kind of set for me the PlayStation 2 era. As much as I'm a fan of the action games and the fighting games that came out, some of the driving games, I've always been a JRPG fan. Action JRPG, strategy JRPG fan, and a general RPG fan. And this really did set for me the standard for the PS2, which lasted a hell of a long time.
Yeah.
I mean, the PlayStation 3 launched in a dire state, and they were still releasing games for the PS2 for like years.
Well, it had like a 14-year run or something of being supported officially by Sony, when technically their normal strategy is to support a console for 10 years, releasing the next console in usually about the 6th or 7th year of the previous console's life.
Oh yeah. And it's had a following. It's had such a following, with especially with Distant Worlds, the music, and obviously the other iterations, because 10 then had 10.2, which was but it still had a sizable following. So this is the after credit cutscene.
Yep.
Yep.
But what does it mean?
Well, it certainly doesn't mean he appears in 10.2. I know that much from what I played in 10.2.
And then you just get this looping forever.
Yeah. Which again is really nice music.
Yeah.
Really, really nice music. So yeah, so that was Final Fantasy X-2. So this is rounding out our celebration of the PlayStation 2 20 years in launch in Europe.
About 10 minutes left, haven't we?
And I think this has been really quite impressive because we've had the big 25 that we celebrated for PlayStation 1 last month. We've had this for PlayStation 2 this month, which wasn't a huge thing. We didn't have enough time to do both, to be fair.
No, it was one or t'other.
Yeah.
And PS1 was a bigger anniversary, so...
Yeah. I mean, we might when it hits 25, because it will be...
It'll be the PlayStation's 30.
30 and 25, but
Yeah!
5 years is away. 5 years is away. Although technically we may still be stuck in the same house 5 years from now. But that's by the by. But yeah, I mean, it's pretty significant. Because we talked about this briefly with PlayStation 1. Oh god, here we go.
Just for old time's sake.
The impact the PlayStation 1 had in terms of consoles back in the day was massive. Being disc-based, 3D engine, developers pushing the 3D engine significantly. The PlayStation 2 was the jump to let's make it a proper console, I feel, as opposed to the PlayStation 1, which was a case of, well, we've got this tech, let's use it. And they built on the success. I will say Sony built on the success with the PlayStation 2, and the PlayStation 2 and the consoles released around PlayStation 2 era were probably the best gaming machines that we've seen.
Games that really high leveled.
Yeah. Which, considering we then had 3, 4 and everything else, the reason why I'm saying PlayStation 2 is probably the best gaming machines is because it was a gaming machine. You could play DVDs on this one. You could certainly play music on it. I can't remember if you could play DVDs on the PlayStation 2. Yes, you could, but you needed a remote control. Well, you didn't need it. It just was helpful. But it wasn't the main feature of the PlayStation 2. The Internet Enable wasn't a main feature of the PlayStation 2. So it was more a gaming machine, as opposed to what happened with 3, 4...
How do I get out of this?
What, this menu?
Oh shit, I've just reset everything, haven't I? I'll try it again.
I mean, the PlayStation 5 looks like they're attempting to try to get back to it being a gaming focused, because PlayStation 4 has it, but it still feels like this is your entertainment center rather than this is your gaming machine. PlayStation 5 at least looks like it's trying to go, we're back to being a gaming machine. If you could ever get your hands on one.
Well, you say that, but I'm not seeing that much that's different, really, in terms of core philosophy. They've still got the various Atmosphere media things.
Well, the big thing for 2 was it was a gaming machine. You could play DVDs on it, that's fine. And you could attach so many things to it, that's fine. But it was the machine you played games on. 3 was when you started to have, oh yes, it's your Blu-ray player. It's your app running device. 4 definitely. I mean, I have the Pro upstairs, which I game on, and my PlayStation 4 in the living room, and that is used for like Disney Plus, Netflix, Amazon Prime videos, mostly. And it feels like that's kind of what's happened with the PlayStation 4, 3, 4, and the Xbox during this era. It wasn't, here's your gaming machine. It was, here's your machine that you could have apps on when you got a phone next to you. And potentially 5 is going back to, here is your gaming machine. Here's your gaming machine that may not necessarily have all of its hard drive available for you, but here is your gaming machine.
Now, can I remember actually how to play this game?
No.
As in, what the buttons are?
So here's the thing that TK played constantly. Now, the basic tactic is to try and maneuver so that there is a few people who can get to you as possible, because the way the game plays is odd. If there are people a certain distance to you, they will automatically vacuum close to you to stop you from shooting or passing. So that white circle. Sometimes more than that white circle.
Thank you.
And
Right.
they'll try and block you like here, and you have to like break past them. Usually it's a shot. Here's the main one that you learn from the tutorial section, where you just pummel people in the face with the ball, which does damage and can lead to you taking out vast swathes of the enemy team, which was my tactic at one point. But the entire objective is to try and make sure your numbers are bigger than their numbers. There is a bit of RNG with the goalies.
There's quite a lot of RNG when they got the rip clubs and things, because it will just randomly generate a number.
Yeah, it was so fucking annoying with that. But the tactics for attacking always was, there's the classic defense. Oh, one-man breakthrough. Okay. Yeah.
But now their energy is halved, so when they try to do something else now,
they won't have the points to it, but you now have a 3-man... Oh, no break.
You've got a 40 pass.
Oh, passing. Yeah.
Enter Venom pass.
Oh, didn't activate. That did.
Datto got poisoned. Datto grabs the ball.
Hey,
Good boy, Datto.
So
Oh,
it
yeah,
kind of
surrounded.
pulls,
Oh my God.
yeah, it kind of pulls the mechanics from the game in terms of poison with all of these status effects. Yeah, you ain't.
Yeah, no, he's got that, hasn't he?
I mean,
That's a push.
The best you can do is if he's got something to hammer people with, in terms of a pass or shoot. There we go. The fact that all of your stuff costs your own HP is another thing to keep into consideration. Oh! Loses attack.
That's okay, we'll get it back by the end of... Ooh, no.
No. Although
Keeper should catch that.
it might give him venom, which would be interesting. Oh, nice. Because he's poisoned, his health will now continue to deteriorate because of poison. Yeah.
I mean, it doesn't really make any difference to the stats.
No.
So, yeah. Yeah, but in order for them to take action, they need HP.
Yep.
When they've got the ball, their HP drains. When they're poisoned, their HP drains.
If they lose endurance, they then automatically drop the ball.
Yep.
And if you reduce the passing or shooting number down to 0, you catch the ball.
Yeah.
Which is often how I would find I would get a turnover, I suppose, because effectively the game is one team has the ball until the other team doesn't.
Right, let's everybody get back to their mark a little bit. Make sure it gets there, because it needs to go to Speedy Boy over here.
Although he's got 2 people on him.
Had 2 people on him.
Oh, yep, no, they're out of the circle, so it's just goalie.
Just the goalie.
17-13, damn. 1683. Fuck, the goalie's screwed. That poison is awful.
Not just that, but Datto is my second scorer, effectively, in this league.
It was a big change from the card games, I gotta say.
It was a big change from the card games. I found this was a lot more enjoyable.
The card games I just hated. Chocobo Racing I was fine with, and some of the other mini games in 7 were fun because you could also do sledding and things like that, so I didn't mind that.
Oh, Datto grabbed the ball again?
Yeah, Datto has the ball.
2 people in the circle. Could break through one... maybe break through the other?
Well, you got 3,000 and 44 endurance, so
Yeah, it's the endurance we're looking at here.
Yeah, 26-20.
It's 46 their total attack, but that's if he doesn't duck or...
Yeah.
But then I could try and break... No, fuck it, let's do it. Go on, Datto. Let's see what you got. Yeah, good boy.
Nice.
Oh, good boy.
There's the freelancer as well. Or free agent, I should say. That was always weird when you're watching the end of a season, because you have seasons in this.
Yep.
And people have contracts.
Yeah. I've got the Poseidon signed up for 99 matches or whatever.
Yeah, it's like, because you end up grinding out shit through tournaments in the game, you just go, yeah, I'm not going to lose my team. Everyone else, we're not going to keep you signed up. Watching all of these players just disappear from one team to the other.
Yeah, they all get bounced around.
Yeah. You could theoretically pick up other better teammates. Theoretically. But I never found that useful. Because all of their stats were awful. No, you're not gonna... You even if you break one... Oh no, you might, yeah. You might dodge them.
Let's go on the assumption that we're dodging.
Yeah.
No. Not dodging this time.
All over.
Oh, he is dodging. Ha-ha! Good boy, Datto.
Could have picked up with a tackle 3.
No, I didn't have tech. Because tech copy shows up if you can.
Alright. Been a while. That goalkeeper does not have good stats.
Which is a shame, because the rest of his team does. Mind you, I bet the goalie doesn't work so hard.
Yeah. The Guado team always annoyed me because they had a horrendous advantage every time. It's like every league they would have the most experienced people and therefore would win their matches.
Datto is poisoned. No concern, they've got...
Well...
4, 3, 2, 1.
You're going for the shot. Oh, going for the one-man breakthrough.
Doesn't matter.
Yeah, may as well burn some HP.
Not just that, but they won't have enough time to actually shoot. There you go. Well, we'll never know if that went in or not because our keeper walked off.
And there's the experience with the horrendous, uneven experience for the goalkeeper. It's like, if you don't do fuck all, you ain't getting the experience.
Yeah.
That was my problem. It was like, okay, I'm in goal. What are we doing? Well, keeper, you are doing fuck all. Every game.
Yeah, Datto, speed of 89. Time 36, and he's like the second highest. Mr. Datto here is by Speedy Speed Boy.
Yeah, the level ups are a bit RNG if I recall.
So, well, Titus does have a 66 for shoot versus a 39 versus 16 versus like 9 and 2.
Well, it was Jack shot and the overhead kick one.
Sphere shot.
Sphere shot, yeah. Because as soon as you got a couple of people with that, you kind of could progress well.
I mean, I still have Whacker on the team, and I got a Wanter on my team just to see what they look like, but never used him.
Yes, because it was Whacker's team.
No.
That annoyed me in the demo. It was like, Tidus with the Jack shot potentially could get you enough goals to win that demo match. Then they swap him out to Tidus, who doesn't have Jack shot. Not Tidus, Whacker. It's like, thanks. Not helpful.
I could use Gamble.
Silly skills.
Oh, I don't know. Let's go nap shot 2.
Yeah, some silly skills.
Yeah, poor keeper never gets to level up. He doesn't get his second page because there is no other skills. He's just denied.
Oh, you don't even get the tech. He doesn't even learn techs too well.
See, Letty could learn stuff. Letty could learn invisible shot. No one else really can. Wait.
Ah.
Oh, fart. Went too far back. Yeah, that's fine. Everyone's tech is fine. The Defto's tech is still good. Yeah, that's what I thought. I've got no mark.
Wow, he's even selecting specific people to mark.
Yeah, I'll have my keeper mark their keeper because that's how you learn techs.
Yeah. Slowly.
If you're lucky.
Yeah. So second game of Blitzball. So this is how TK
This
would
is the
while...
second half.
Second half. This is how TK would while the hours away. Well, not necessarily. It'd be a couple of games. Maybe some grinding of Sin, and then that'd be it for like an hour. Or 2. Oh dear. But yeah, that's 20 years of PlayStation 2.
All summed up in Blitzball.
All summed up in 4 weeks of various games, because we've played the action-adventure style game, because we have indeed tried to finish Mortal Kombat Shaolin Monks.
We did.
Which kicked our ass, but that's fine. we have played Mortal Kombat, Tekken and Soul Calibur. All very good fighting games on the PlayStation 2. We've not played any Street Fighter. I think both myself and TK have been very rusty with Street Fighter.
That is not going to go anywhere near the goal, by the way, but...
No, that's fine. You're just damaging people.
Kiefer should catch this.
No,
If Kiefer doesn't catch it, considering it's a shot of 0,
yeah,
then Kiefer needs firing.
it's when they deflect it at 0. That's when I just laugh. It's like, okay.
But this should now spread everything back out a bit.
But we have gone over a good chunk of the genres, I suppose you could say. Undoubtedly, we're going to come back to PlayStation 2 games, especially for games that kick my ass, because there are a large number of hard games on the PlayStation 2. It's not just the retro-styly ones. But our intention will be, as we go into December, we'll try and continue this on Fridays, but as it is coming up to Christmas, we may indeed have 1-2 Fridays off. Because trying to do a stream and also prep for Christmas may be a little bit of a push.
Oh, you're brave. A shot of 17 versus my keeper's catch of 28 at that distance.
Well, the AI is a little bit optimistic at times.
Oh, but no, it's invisible.
Yeah, but it doesn't actually increase the shot power. And he scored though.
I call bullshit.
Yeah. Dear God. So we will be back next month, certainly for a few Fridays, for more games that kick my ass. Exactly what we'll be playing, not entirely sure. Objectives I would like to do is see if we can do Ratchet and Clank games in terms of a controller swap, because that's a nice one to go through. TK's offered a few suggestions that I can't remember off the top of my head. But we'll see. This will probably be especially focused as we go into January next year, because TigerTails Radio will be going on hiatus at some point.
By the end of the
season. Yeah, at some point
14th of December will be the final episode of season 12.
Yep, because on Mondays we do indeed have TigerTails Radio, 8:30 GMT, where we also do Jackbox games around about 9 o'clock. We are coming towards the end of season 12, as we've said. When we'll come back, probably early-ish January, not early January, early-ish 2021. Depends on how long it takes to re-sort out the studio, because
We've got some rewiring to do.
there's potentially some rewiring and potentially some consideration of other tech.
Oh, sweet.
So we'll see how that goes. On Saturdays or Sunday, depending on how real life treats me, is TigerTails Gaming playing Stream and Chill, where I'm currently going through Vagrant Story. I am hoping that I'll actually complete the game in December, given how well I've been doing, although I feel I need to kind of do some work off stream, just because it's a little bit of a pain in the ass to watch someone grind through and manage equipment. But we'll see. So hopefully by December I'll have completed that one. That's a nice goal. And then for the next year I can start playing a different Stream and Chill game.
A different long JRPG.
Yeah, I like my JRPGs, and it's a nice thing to do on a weekend, just a couple of hours of JRPGing. Outside of that, anything else that we do, we announce on our social media feeds, which is on Twitter, which is on Facebook. We do have websites, tigertailsradio.co.uk and tigertailsgaming.co.uk, and we are of course on YouTube as well. Anything else that changes, because 2021, we will let you know, because there's been a lot of crazy shit that's happened this year in terms of how, oh god, a fumble, how well the platforms have been dealing. So we'll see. Always been optimistic. Oh, it's a one-man break though.
I can do that.
One man defense. That's not that bad. Oh, Napshot was hilarious when I used it.
It puts him to sleep.
It's
an open goal.
And then they're one man down on a 5-man team. Goalie was worse because it was just, yeah, score. but team member, you couldn't cope with one man down, which is why I always like beat the living bejesus out of the opposition, because it made breaking opponents so easy. It's like, oh, I see you have no endurance. I see you have no hit points. Fine. Power through you.
They're trying a different tack.
Well, kind of. It's the AI typical, I'll just barrel it down the middle. The problem is when they then decide to pass it to the person all
Oh,
the
what a
way back on the other
shame!
side of the field.
You didn't have time to score. Or
No.
not score, as the case may have been.
Or trigger the goalie animation.
Poor Jasu. Jasu got nothing to do with that entire game.
No. Experience gains is bullshit in this, unfortunately. There we go. So that was quite a good representation of Final Fantasy X.
Oh,
Oh, and here we go, here's the contracts.
re-signed for 13 games.
Oh, it's not too bad. 7-1. Fucking hell.
See, and it was a nice even mix there of Datus and Taito.
Yeah,
Datus and Taito? That's not...
Datto and Tidus.
Yes.
Besaid Aurochs, 2 wins, no losses.
Same as the Killer Beasts.
Guado Glory's right down the bottom. There's something I didn't often see when I played.
And they're round 2 scoring so far, yeah. This is against the entire league,
Yep.
and I'm first and second. Number of wins, 116.
Crazy. But I think we need to wrap up there.
I think so.
We do need to wrap up. Oh.
So let's bring that back. There we go.
Yeah. So thank you very much for anyone who has been watching live, and thank you to the future people who do watch this, because we do have a fair few people who pop in and watch our recorded streams after the fact. Hopefully we won't have been taken down by copyright strike.
Hopefully, for...
Hopefully, we'll see. So I've already done all of the advertising, so all we've got left to do really is say our goodnights. So we'll start with the player of the game this
Okay,
time.
yeah, that was me. So, it is a good night for myself, TK. Thank you very much for watching me defeat Final Fantasy X with
Again.
a couple of hits.
And this is Xavier Wolf. Thank you very much for joining us. We will be back next week in the times scheduled. But on that note, we need to say night-night, everybody.
Night.